All right, in this video, we're going to look at how to apply edge tape. This is edge tape. Like the name implies, it is the tape that goes on the edge of your paddle, whether you have a paddle with an edge guard or a paddle that is edgeless. So some of you might be asking, what is the purpose of edge tape? Well, edge tape protects the paddle's edge from damage and wear. It helps to extend the lifespan of the paddle. It adds a visual element to the paddle as edge tape is available in a variety of colors and designs. But the main purpose of edge tape is to protect the paddle's edges from scrapes, scuffs, scratches, bruises, bangs, and beyond when you are playing with your paddle. Whether you're driving the ball, diving for them, digging them, accidents happen, and your paddle edges will sooner or later make contact with the ground. Now, is it absolutely necessary to put edge tape on your paddle? Definitely not. Maybe you're a wizard that is never out of position and perfectly balanced all the time while floating effortlessly around the court as you play with strokes so precise that your paddle could never ever touch the ground. But for us mere mortals, it's going to happen sooner or later. Many of Selkirk's paddles already have a plastic edge guard around the edge of the paddle to help protect it, but some paddle offerings from Selkirk are edgeless, and Selkirk highly recommends edge tape on these paddles. The reason for this is because the edges of these paddles cannot be repaired or replaced. Once the edges of these paddles are worn down and the core is exposed, the playability of these edgeless paddles may be compromised. So edge tape is something that you mainly do with edgeless paddles. So here I'm going to demonstrate how to put the edge tape on your paddle. Firstly, remove the edge tape from the box. The next thing you want to do is kind of measure the tape across the top of the paddle just to kind of eyeball where it will be so that it's put on the paddle evenly. You can take it a step further and maybe take a pencil or another piece of tape to kind of mark the edges on where the tape begins and ends to make sure that you apply it evenly across the top of the paddle. Totally optional. After you've kind of done that, you want to remove the adhesive from the back of the edge guard tape. The next thing you're going to want to do after you remove the adhesive off the edge tape is to actually stretch the edge tape a little bit, and you'll see that the edge tape kind of folds onto itself into somewhat of a U shape. This will help you apply the edge tape more evenly onto the paddle and make it look more seamless. Next up, definitely clean the edge of the paddle with a damp cloth to remove any dirt or debris if you haven't done so already. Now you want to place the edge tape onto the edge of your paddle, starting at one end and smoothing it down as you go all the way to the other end. Now what I like to do is actually place my paddle standing upright on the table and balancing on the butt cap, and then I will eyeball the center of the edge tape, and then I will take the edge tape and place it on the top of the paddle first, trying to get it aligned in the middle, and then I'll slowly wrap down the edge tape on either side of the paddle simultaneously. The most important part of this process is that you're patient and you take your time. If you do happen to mess up, don't worry, you can peel back the edge tape and then reapply it again. Once you're finished applying the edge tape, make sure that you smooth out any small little creases or bubbles that may have happened during the process. Now, edge tape is just that, it's tape. It's not armor, and it's not going to prevent your paddle from all the damage. If you smash your paddle on the ground, wall, rail, or your partner's thick heads for always speeding up the ball below the net, it can and it will break. Edge tape is for those minor accidents for when you are using the paddle to hit pickleballs. So there you have it, that is edge tape and why you would use it and how to apply it. It's definitely not completely necessary, but we do recommend you use it for edgeless paddles. And it can also help give your paddle a different aesthetic as well, and maybe help differentiate your paddle from others when you're waiting for a court.